Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show, where we talk about all components of business and how to utilize them for exponential growth. My name is Athin Cassiotis. I'm a business growth strategist where I help business owners grow, scale, cut costs, and increase profit. And today, I have an awesome guest. She's an entrepreneur and investor. She's the founder and senior managing partner and lead interior designer at Design and Details and the senior managing partner for Crescent Investment Group. She takes the chaos out of construction, is committed to your needs, and makes sure your vision turns into your reality. She creates a stress-less process with a design team that is customized for your project as your construction concierge. Welcome, Shavawn Everitt, and thank you for being on my show.
Hi, Athin. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing show for everyone watching and listening today. So you're a very successful entrepreneur. So for those people who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself by telling us about you and your journey.
Well, Athin, I'm just a small town girl from Texas, country girl born and raised, and fell in love with construction at the early stages of my life, really because of my dad. And so when I realized I could go to school for it, that's what I did. And I've been loving it ever since. I mean, I wouldn't do anything else. So construction is pretty much my life.
Yeah, love that, Shavawn. And yeah, you got so much experience there, and we'll get into that now, definitely. So, let's get into the Design and Details initially now. So, you founded this business over 11 years ago, which is amazing, but you also started professionally over 17 years ago. So that's a great feat, massive amount of time that you've, honed this skill and been successful in your field. And, very few businesses make it past 10 years, let alone, what you've been able to achieve. So initially, what do you think's been key, to your success in business?
Key to success in this, I'm a registered interior designer in Texas, but key to my success is actually specifically doing construction. There are a lot of designers who don't really offer the construction services, and that's what I love. And so that initially in the early years of me working, I realized I had a passion for it where other designers didn't. And so that's been a key to my success, is because I've been able to hone in those tools and skills and play them to my advantage to grow in the industry.
Yeah, love that. Really powerful. And yeah, you definitely have like the full package going on with what you do. And I guess for people wanting to, design a new home, from scratch, or maybe improve a current home, there's this, I guess you call it interior architecture and design. So what is, like this interior architecture design for people that are, wanting to get into that?
So interior architecture is the interior construction finish out of the house. So basically, I would consider myself a construction designer, but interior architecture would be taking what the architect has given from a plan level and then finishing it from a design perspective. And so we offer, for our clientele at the design firm, we offer 3D modeling, and pretty much when we design things, we do them 2D and 3D. And so it allows clients to see the visual aspect of everything coming together in the home, but it's also making those selections, and it's working with the subcontractors to make sure those designs actually come to fruition, because you can design something, but it may not necessarily function. And so people love to design, but there's a difference in having the knowledge to know what you can construct, because you can design anything, but is it feasible, right? And you have to think about design. I think about design with construction budgets in mind. So I'm just not designing these crazy ideas, things that won't actually come to fruition. I'm trying to do it within the budgets, work with the contractors, because it's all about a team effort. And that makes residential, well, I'm sure commercial projects too, but we mainly do residential. That makes the residential projects go smoothly, right? And so to have that interior architect, that construction designer on the design team makes all the difference in the world. So did that answer that, Ethan?
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Love it. Because yeah, I think a lot of people, I think don't understand these types of things, right? And what are the differences? Because I think, when we're trying to find people for any project in business, right, to help us, or, with property, which is obviously big, and designing, it's about like, what questions to ask and understanding the differences, right, between people. And I think this is really key as well with like an interior decorator, right, where it's a known type of business, which is different, right? So do you want to maybe talk about the difference between an interior decorator and like what you do with your interior architecture design?
Yes. So there are decorators, designers, and registered interior designers. And then you've got interior architects and architects. Okay. That's kind of the lineup. Decorators are the ones who are pretty much just going to do soft furnishings. They're going to bring in draperies. They're going to actually decorate your home, right? They're going to do your soft furnishing stuff. Then you've got designers who may not have the licensing, the schooling, the admin part of like being able to stamp plans, do the structural plan portion of interior design. So there's going to be a huge group of designers that have credentials, but they're not registered interior designers. And so your registered interior designers are the ones who are licensed. They're the ones that have all of the construction knowledge, your health, safety, welfare knowledge. And they're going to be the ones that can work on plans. Like for me, I do lighting design. I do mechanical lighting overlays. I work with the architect versus come in after the architect. And so I really get to in on a plan level, and then we take you all the way to move in ready. And then that's where a decorator would come in and help you with furnishings and that sort of thing. So we really are mainly that construction process.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
Did that lay it out?
Yeah, definitely laid it out very well. I think because it's we got to understand who fits in different things, and like you said, I think what you guys do, you sort of do multiple things. You can help bigger parts of the process, which is awesome, because the less people we can have and the more people that can manage, sort of the whole process is awesome. And and a great term that I guess you guys use for yourselves is you're a construction concierge, right? Mm-hmm. So I love this term. So do you want to maybe tell us about what a construction concierge is and how you deliver this, to your clients as well?
Yes. So the construction concierge is basically being able to create that design. We bring it together because as an interior designer, you can't just be in and out of the project. It's a team effort, especially when you're working on high-end and luxury custom residential, because we may have, like I've spent 8 years with one client. Right. And that was from plan level with the architect, prelim thought process, all the way to move in. I actually did this client's furnishings, which we don't normally offer on a constant basis. And so I've been with this client for like 10 years now. And construction concierge is really where we guide them through the entire process. We bring in the architect, we bring in the builder, we build the design team, because there's all different people, right? Some people work better with others. Some clients are going to work better with this builder or this architect and that sort of thing. And so being the construction concierge is being there from the start and then supporting the entire design team all the way through the process, which takes so much, all that chaos, all those, all the questions, anything, it takes it off the homeowner's shoulders, because they may not know the answers, right? They don't build homes for a living, so they're depending on their team. And that's what the construction concierge does. We try to eliminate all of that chaos and build the best team for our clients.
Yeah. Love that. That's so amazing. And very, very valuable, definitely, for everybody to be able to, couple that all together and match the right people together. Love that. And I guess, with business, right, we make money in our businesses, obviously, and we're making a profit. And then as the business owner, we want to go, okay, what are we going to do with that money? And it gets to sort of more of that investment level, or how do we make the money work for us? And then obviously you guys also focus on like Crescent Investments, right? Group that you do with your husband, Matt, who's awesome too. So do you want to maybe share a little just initially about what you do with Crescent Investments, what you focus on there?
So we actually focus on renovations with Crescent Investment, and we are soon to be getting into design builds. But we have focused on renovations. What we did with the design firm was we used to take very large renovation clients. And what we decided to do several years ago was pull back on taking renovation clients, only taking new construction with the firm. And then we worked on renovations through Crescent Investment as an investment versus a client project. And so that made a transition in our mindset from clientele to more of an entrepreneurial mindset where we can actually do these and we're able to find the homes that we, would love to work on and, what we can and can't do with them. And so it kind of opens up construction to an entrepreneurial perspective versus working with clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Love that. Really cool, right? And this is what I love, the bits you talked about, the mindset there, right? Where you had that flip going, okay, we're not just working with clients. How do we, look at doing multiple things and, helping other people, right? At the same time and growing together with these investments. And I guess many people do want to renovate or refurbish homes, whether they do it themselves and you help, or like they find it, or you guys obviously do it for them, and source everything. So, I guess, when is it a good idea? Because it doesn't always like work out, right? To an extent, when you do these things, you got to make sure you do your due diligence and stuff like that. So when's it a good idea to look at the, the renovations and, I guess what's involved in this sort of thing to make sure that you're going to have a, successful project at the same time?
Successful projects are all about knowing your numbers. If you do not know your numbers, that is the fastest way to get yourself in financial problems with a project, especially construction. So having that background in construction and working on job sites, knowing the structure of how things goes together makes a huge difference on knowing what you can and can't do with the houses. But, we always say in the entrepreneurial world, you make money in the buy. So you have to purchase the property correct to start. And then you have to be able to keep hold of your construction numbers and keep them to where you are going to be making profit. You're hitting those profit numbers. And if I would say to anyone who doesn't really know construction numbers is get help and get guidance from someone who does, because you don't want to get into a situation where it turns into a negative financial situation. But being able to keep hold and just be very mindful that every penny counts when it comes to construction. And really, in my mindset, I keep a spreadsheet. And I will be honest, Athin, so our last renovation was $500,000. My construction spreadsheet was like 8 pages long. And it has every penny. I mean, I'm talking every single thing that goes in there. I want to track it. Even if it's a Home Depot receipt expense for like 2 screws, I want to know what that is and I want it in my spec sheet, right? Because knowing your numbers is the number one thing that you have to do in construction.
Yeah, love that. And yeah, you guys are an amazing team, right? Because you've got so much of that knowledge, right, of that whole process. So you sort of understand what could potentially go wrong, right, in these things. And then you can factor that in, which a lot of people, I think that's an experience thing. And like you said, if you don't have it, then find somebody, right, that can help you along that journey. And, that's where I guess, coaching and mentoring comes into it. And I guess you guys are, you're amazing at what you do, and you're actually extremely quick at what you do as well, because some people could spend like a long time on these projects, but the ROI, it really comes down to how quickly you can do it at the same time. So, do you want to maybe share about like how, how quick you can do these projects and, the differences and making that happen as well?
Yeah, well, we'll use our last project as an example. So we gave ourselves close to $500,000 budget. It was actually 475 is what we gave ourselves. We did hit $500,000. So we did go over a little bit, but there was a lot of work that needed done. When you think a $500,000 reno, that's a lot of work. But I actually decided to challenge myself, right? So I decided to say, okay, I can do this $500,000 reno in 90 days. And because we had with our numbers, you got to know your numbers. So within our numbers, we had a 4.5 month turnaround for the most likely in our best case scenarios. And so to have that 4.5 month with potential exceeded closing time, I needed to do it in 90 days. So you need to know your construction schedule. You need to be able to manage it properly to know when to time things in on the project. And so I actually beat it. We got our house back on the market in 89 days. So I beat my goal by a day and I was so excited about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats, Shavawn. That's a big feat, right? Like, you know, people can do renovations for 50,000, 100,000. I think it's quite big. We're talking a $500,000 reno. That's massive. And to go just slightly over budget, but still give yourself enough room, wiggle room there with what it is so that you still are very profitable. And to do that in that amount of time, then you've got all this time to close. Then yeah, that's an amazing feat. And I think that, you know, you deserve to be known for that because not a lot of people can do that, right? And so this is where, you know, partnering with people like yourselves on how to do things is really important to, yeah, get the best result for, you know, the investors and everyone else, right? On who you're partnering with these projects. So, you know, I guess there's new builds as well, right? Where, you know, you have a blank canvas. You sort of talked about, you know, the one before that you've had this client for, you know, 10 years or so, and that you work with. So it's obviously would be pretty cool having a blank canvas, right? Like you got a piece of land or whatever it is, and like, let's design something. So how does that change how you design and what does it allow you, I guess, to create, you know, with your clients?
Oh, creation with clients. I mean, it comes from anything and everything. And I actually think I did a video on this recently on my Instagram. And it was like, inspiration can come from the smallest thing. I mean, I have had clients literally go, and this is a woman saying, this is my grandma's quilt. I've had it. I love it. It's the most amazing thing. I want to design my house around it. And I'm like, a quilt? Okay. I can do this, right? Like, I got this. But then you also have clients come in and say, I love Spanish colonial. So for this house behind me, actually, this is a house that we designed from plan level all the way. And we actually did the furnishings in this house as well. So, I mean, the floral, the furniture, everything in this house was done by our design team. And so it's like this client came in and said, I want Spanish colonial. That's what I want. I love the architectural style. This is what I need. I need 3 bedrooms. I need 3 bathrooms and a wine room, right? Like, so clients always start with a list of needs for the house. And then I always tell the clients, I do start this way. I said, give me your needs and then your wants, right? Because these are what we're going to hit first. And this all comes into play, right? But you usually can't get everything on your want list unless you just have infinite amount of money, which some people do. So it happens. But it's you know, it's always, there's always inspiration from somewhere, no matter what. And then you're right. You get to take those small details and you get to create a beautiful piece of artwork just from that one little spot of inspiration. And that is the fun part of design. And I love it.
Yeah, awesome. And I've seen many of your pictures, you know, of some of these places you've designed and rooms, and they do look amazing. So everyone's definitely got to check them out. And if wanting something awesomely designed, Shavawn is your woman with everything else that she can do. And, you know, you're also an investor. So, you know, where you invest in certain projects, and obviously you do investments with, you know, with your projects, you get investors in, right? You know, with your design and things like that. So do you want to maybe just talk about, I guess, the benefit of investing into real estate, you know, with our money?
So the benefit of investing in real estate is being able to design what you want, right? You're not working off client. You're not working with the design team. Basically, when we do it from an investment perspective with real estate, we can take it and we can do what we want, right? So you can sometimes be more creative, and renovations are a lot of fun because you're starting, and when you're going in from an entrepreneur perspective, you want those houses that need help, right? You want those distressed homes. And so I walk in and I'm looking at them like, I mean, I walk into a house, I'm like, I do this. This is my construction number. This is what I want to do, right? And so it's almost being able to beautify something again, you know, when you do it yourself. And that's the fun in renovations. When it gets to design build, you can do anything, right? And so one thing that I love is all authentic architectural styles. And so I love the inside of the house to reflect the outside of the house. And so I actually preach that timeless design a lot to my clients. Is what you don't want is to have a beautiful Tuscan home and you walk in and it's an ultra modern. There's a disconnect. It doesn't make sense. And so when you do design builds, you can really, really take that into account and be able to keep that throughout the house and not have to worry about making the clients happy and making sure that they love it. And so I think that's a little bit of difference there.
Yeah, love that. Really powerful stuff and differentiating on how we can do it differently. So I know that you're the queen of implementation. You take fast action. You know, confirmed it with 89 days, you know, in, getting the project done, among what you do in business in general. So initially, like, do you have some tips or things that, that you can give us about how to take action and so we can move forward faster as an entrepreneur?
Well, first off is love what you do, because if you love what you do, you're going to take off and run with it. Right. And so it's also a speed of implementation. I know you hear that a lot from other people, but it's speed of implementation. If you have thoughts and you're in like go design mode or you're in construction mode, you want to get all your numbers down, you want to call all your, just do it. Don't wait, because procrastination will kill your drive. And so I really try to just be swift on implementation. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. And to be able to do 89 days to set a 90-day construction schedule is challenging. But I think it's all about communication and scheduling. And that's what made that, and it's teamwork. It's all teamwork. And so that's what made that happen. But speed of implementation and love what you do.
Definitely. So true. Completely agree with all of that. And, you're a coaching and mentoring client of mine as well. And you 4x your business in less than 12 months. Amazing feat, right? So how important, because I know before me, I believe you hadn't really had much coaching and mentoring before. So how is coaching and mentoring, with me and in general, what you've been growing with, helped you to achieve what you wanted to achieve in your business and everything else?
Oh, well, I mean, coaching and mentoring is everything, because here's the deal. We as people, we aren't experts in everything, right? There's someone who isn't an expert in construction or design, but that's where I fit in. I'm not an expert at creating systems and quadrupling my income in 3 months. That's what you came in for. So I would say it's everything. And it made all the difference in the world, because it's, where I don't see things or where I don't know what to do. I need guidance and I need help. And you are right. I have not had much coaching. I've had mentoring from mentors from other architects and designers that I've worked with and for in the past. And so those are always amazing to have, but I would say coaching really makes the biggest difference, and systems and evaluating your numbers. Because like I said, you need to know your numbers in construction. You need to know your numbers in your business. And that is one of the first things you taught me. And so it made all the difference in the world, because you know where you need to grow and you know where you need to cut. And if you don't know those numbers, you will never scale and you will never grow.
Yeah, love that. So true. Completely agree. And it's been a pleasure helping you to grow and just really let you to shine. And you've just taken it forward, Shavawn, and done some awesome things there. And I guess you're, a lot of people, we talk about these good times and these amazing things that we do, but a lot of the time in the entrepreneurial journey, there's a lot of challenges. There's some failures and things that we learn from and things like that. So I think it's good to highlight that we're not perfect, right? There's a lot of things that happen along the way. So do you want to maybe share, a challenge, a big challenge or a failure or something that happened somewhere along your journey and how you overcame it as well?
Oh, I mean, I think every single reno project we do, there are days where I tell Matt, like, Tad, you're in, I'm done for the day. Like I can't do it, And so there are days where you are so mentally overwhelmed that you just want to throw in the towel and be like, I'm taking a spa day. And I will say spa days are kind of my go-to relaxation. So I do that. But because I have to have time to renew and restore, because you can run and run and run, but you will run yourself down and out of energy. So I would say you have to know your limitations. And I have specific limitations when there's like, because we take the chaos out of construction with our clients. And so when you've got everything compiling in on you, and it has happened to me several times, you've got to take the time to restore. And it is, as an entrepreneur, it's the hardest thing to do. I mean, for me, it's the hardest thing because it's like, okay, I need to go relax. I need to refresh. I need to reset my mindset, because it's all about mindset. When your mindset's negative, you're doing negative things. You need to keep your mindset positive. And so it's the hardest thing to do, because like, I will literally sit there and go, shit, I should have done that. I should have been doing that today. Why am I here restoring? Right. And so my like whole little checklist is going off in my head while I'm trying. So it's a battle. It is a constant battle for entrepreneurs. And I think we all feel it. Right. But it's, yeah, I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head, except when I told Matt I'm taking a spa day, like, you're in, I'm out, right? Like, but they happen, and they happen often. So don't think that being an entrepreneur or working in construction is bright and shiny and we're all amazing, because we're all in the same boat, and we all have good days and we all have bad days.
Yeah, great answer, Shavawn. And, it just highlights, that we're all human, and we have to be able to keep moving forward, right? Be able to take that time out to reset quickly, and then be able to get focused again on growing and helping our clients in that way as well. And, we haven't talked too much about Matt, but I think it's good to bring up Matt, because, your husband, and you've been working together for a while now. Matt's more of the left brain numbers man, right, in the relationship, just so people know as well. Siobhan's more of the right brain creative, as you can imagine, being the designer at the same time. So, but you got to know both, right? Like, it's, you can't just be oblivious to the numbers. So, but it's using each other's strengths. So do you want to maybe just share, because I think, I've got my wife Irene as well, and we sort of do some stuff in business and looking to work more with each other. You guys have been together for a lot longer, than what we have. And so what do you want to maybe share a little bit about how you guys have worked together, and, I guess some of the things that have maybe worked and not worked, and, to make sure that you can still, be successful and be on the same page at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Matt is amazing in so many ways. And I think it's all about balance. So he balances me where I don't have experts. So he's got expertise in areas that I don't. Like you said, he knows the numbers. Now, when it comes to a construction budget, I know my numbers. But when it comes to evaluating properties or negotiating the properties, or, Matt shines a lot on that end, where I don't. Matt's amazing at managing teams, right? I'm more of the creative side. So I'll come up with the ideas, and Matt will help like implement with the teams. And so it's all about balance. You can't, if you're trying to work with someone who is exactly like you, it's never going to work, because you need to find people who are not completely opposite, but that complement you, right? That fulfill those areas in business that you don't. And I think that Matt and I do a okay job at balancing each other. There's battles at times, it's not all sunshine and roses, as it never is, but there is a daily balance between how we operate and how we function together. And I think that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, love that. So true. Completely agree there. And let's just maybe just take it one step further in terms of life now. I think is really powerful, because I know this came up, to an extent in our sessions, where it was like, well, we delegate a lot in business, but do we delegate a lot in life, right? In what we do, and like how to get other people to help us so that we can, spend more time and things with our partner and having better times. You want to maybe share a little bit about what you've, created in your life in terms of time and what you do now to have a better quality of life alongside your businesses?
Well, Athin, I will say I'll share a couple of personal stories here. So one of the first things that you implemented when we started coaching was date night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It cracked me up, because I called my dad and I was like, Dad, he goes, how'd coaching go? I'm like, we got date night. He started laughing because I'm like, apparently we don't do it enough. But you're right. There is, you can't work 24/7 because when you work together, when you're married and you have work life. And so on that married side, you have to take time to spend genuine time with each other. And I will tell you, to sit down at a dinner or just go sit by the pool or chill in the hot tub or whatever and not talk about business is the hardest thing to do when you're an entrepreneur, because that's a lot of your passion. And so it's not that we can't talk about it, it's that you want to try to leave that time for special things like talking about family and, you know, plans and things that you're going to do as a married couple and not just business associated, because you don't want to kill the marriage, right? You want to leave a little fire in there. So and then, another thing that we did was because I have ulcerative colitis, right? So that is a disease that I have and I have to manage. And I was spending a lot of time prepping and cooking my food weekly, like hours. What did we say? It was like 8 or 9 hours a week, like on a Sunday, and it was my whole day. And so we introduced a chef into our house. And so he took on my dietary needs and he freed all that time. And it was amazing. And it was the most refreshing thing to not have to worry about it, right? It didn't just take the time away, it took the worry away. And it allowed us to have more time to spend together. And so that made a huge difference in our life.
Yeah. Love it, Shavawn. Great stories. And state nights are so important. And imagine that, 8 hours back, right? That's like massive, like, having a Sunday, in yourself. So, I think that's the way I like to look at things as well with my clients. Yes, it's about business, but maybe there's some areas in life that pop up. It's like, hey, wait, we need to help the business grow better. We need to maybe, adjust a few things in the life at the same time, because it is linked there, because if you're not enjoying yourself there, it's going to, flow into the business. So it all works well. So that's been awesome. And thanks for sharing the stories, because I think a lot of people will go, wow, yeah, maybe I am not doing enough date nights, or what are other ways that I can, pay someone to mow the lawns instead of me mowing the lawns for an hour or two, or whatever it is, right, in your life.
Right.
That's going to be able to give you more time back, because time is obviously the only thing that is probably the most precious resource that everyone has the same amount of. So how to help us get more time with what we love and want to do. We've had a very powerful episode today, Shavawn, with a lot of awesome stuff. And I guess as we're wrapping up, what one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
Entrepreneurialism, it's a tough road, right? And some other people say if you've got 50 great days, you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to have an amazing year or something like that. So most days are tough, right? There's a lot of battles to be won when you're an entrepreneur. And I think that loving what you do makes all the difference in the world, because you're willing to go to bat for those battles, right? You're willing to put all you have in it. And so I think enjoying what you do daily and having a passion for it and loving it is the key ingredient to being successful, because we should all have fun with what we do. And it may be easy, simple changes that you need to tweak in life. Maybe it is the same industry, maybe it's something, but just tweak things so you're living life to the fullest. Be successful, make it happen, work hard, but be happy doing it. And I think that would be my key tip for the day.
Yes, love it. Completely agree. So true. It helps us get through those challenging times of, what happens during the day, or maybe you have to wake up early, or maybe you have to work back a bit late, but you've got the passion there, right? Which will allow you to move through and make that happen. Amazing stuff. And yeah, we connected, through our networks, where I learned about your awesome journey from being born and raised in Texas on a farm, to learning design in Italy, which is amazing as well. And now, sharing your gifts through Design and Details and Crescent Investment Group. You're an amazing woman. I'm sure everyone will agree on that. I know everyone that meets you says it as well, Shavawn. It's been a pleasure, coaching, mentoring you as well. And I'm sure you'll continue to help people, turn their vision into reality. I'm grateful that we connected, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. So, Shavawn, how can people find you and get in contact with you?
So we have our website, designanddetails.net, but the easiest way to get contact me is Instagram, just at Shavawn Everitt, and look me up, send me a message. I'd be happy to connect.
Awesome stuff. Definitely check out Shavawn, everyone. Amazing energy, amazing knowledge. You want to be around her and see if she can help design or help with investments and a lot of other areas in the real estate game. And thank you to everyone for watching and listening to this show where we talk about everything on business growth. And please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. And you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as Athin Cassiotis, or visit my website, athincassiotis.com. And if you want to grow, scale, cut costs, and increase profit in your business, you can reach out to me on any platform to see if we're a good fit. And I completely agree with you, or do I? The only way you'll know is if you tune in next time. So until next time, remember that our business grows when we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. So remember to design your growth and results.